How to Be Her Best Date Ever, written and published by Olivia Grace from Attraction Unlocked. Imagine this. She walks away from your date smiling, replaying the moments in her head, thinking, "That was the best date I've ever been on." Being her best date ever isn't about having deep pockets, flawless looks, or delivering rehearsed lines. It's about creating a connection that feels genuine, natural, and unforgettable. So, how do you stand out in modern dating, where expectations are higher, and competition is fierce? The secret lies in mastering 3 key areas: confidence, conversation, and connection. In this audiobook, I'll guide you step by step, equipping you with practical tips, real-world strategies, and the mindset needed to leave a lasting impression. We'll dive deep into the psychology of attraction, uncovering what truly makes a date memorable. From preparing for the date and mastering the art of conversation to decoding her body language and creating moments that linger in her mind long after the date is over, this guide has it all. By the end of this journey, you'll know how to make her feel seen, appreciated, and, most importantly, excited to see you again. But let's set expectations right now. Being her best date ever doesn't mean striving for perfection. In fact, chasing perfection often leads to stress, overthinking, and robotic interactions. What women truly value is authenticity, the ability to show up as yourself, imperfections and all, and still make her feel like the center of your world. So, get ready. This isn't just another audiobook about dating tips. This is your roadmap to creating connections that matter and standing out in a way that's both effortless and impactful. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Mindset of a Great Date. What separates a good date from a great one isn't flashy gestures or perfect lines. It's how you make her feel. And at the core of that is your mindset. A great date begins long before you meet her. It starts with how you think, how you feel, and how you carry yourself. Your mindset sets the tone for every interaction and determines whether you come across as confident, engaging, and authentic, or nervous, try hard, and forgettable. Confidence isn't about being loud, cocky, or the center of attention. True confidence comes from being comfortable in your own skin. Women are drawn to men who are unapologetically themselves because it signals emotional security. When you're authentic, you create a space where she can relax and be herself too. Think about the difference between a man who walks into a date trying to prove his worth versus a man who simply enjoys the moment. The first man is constantly second-guessing himself, wondering if he's saying the right thing, while the second man focuses on connection, not perfection. That makes all the difference. To build this confidence, start with small wins. Dress in a way that makes you feel sharp and self-assured. Practice good posture. It's amazing how much standing tall can improve how you feel. And most importantly, remind yourself that you're bringing value to the table. You don't need to perform, you just need to show up as the best version of yourself. Many men approach dating with unnecessary pressure. They think every date is a test, a make-or-break event that determines their worth. This mindset is exhausting and counterproductive. Instead, reframe your approach. Dating is an opportunity to connect, not to impress. When you shift your perspective, the pressure dissolves. You no longer see the date as something to win or lose but as an enjoyable experience to learn about another person. She's not evaluating you on a rigid scale. She's hoping to feel understood, appreciated, and valued. By focusing on connection rather than approval, you create a date that feels effortless and natural. Emotions play a huge role in this dynamic. If you let nerves, fear of rejection, or overthinking control you, it shows. Emotional intelligence is your secret weapon in these moments. Understand and manage your emotions before they manage you. Take a few deep breaths before the date. If you feel nervous, remind yourself that it's completely normal. It means you care. Use that energy to stay present instead of letting it spiral into self-doubt. Women notice men who are grounded and calm under pressure. It's not about being emotionless. It's about being aware of your feelings and channeling them in a productive way. Ultimately, the mindset of a great date comes down to being present, confident, and authentic. When you stop trying to fit into a mold or impress someone, you become free to connect on a real, human level. That's what makes a date unforgettable, not perfection, but presence. And when you embrace this mindset, you'll discover that great dates come naturally. Chapter 2. Preparation is key. Every great performance begins with preparation, and dating is no different. While spontaneity has its charm, the reality is that a little preparation can elevate a date from ordinary to extraordinary. When you invest time in getting the basics right, you not only feel more confident, but you also show her that you value the opportunity to spend time together. Preparation isn't about being rigid or overplanned, it's about setting the stage for a date that flows effortlessly. Let's start with the obvious but often overlooked essentials: appearance and hygiene. No matter how witty or charming you are, first impressions matter, and they often happen before you even say a word. A clean, well-groomed appearance sends a clear message: you take care of yourself and respect the time you're about to share with her. This doesn't mean you need to dress like a runway model, but choose clothes that fit well, are appropriate for the venue, and make you feel confident. Pay attention to details: fresh breath, clean nails, and a touch of cologne go a long way. Women notice the little things, and these small efforts speak volumes about your thoughtfulness. Now, let's talk about the setting for the date. The venue you choose can significantly influence the mood and overall experience. The key here is to match the location to her personality and the vibe you want to create. Is she adventurous? Consider something interactive, like a cooking class or an outdoor activity. Does she enjoy a cozy atmosphere? A quiet cafe or a wine bar might be perfect. The best dates often have a mix of comfort and intrigue, a space where conversation can flow but isn't forced. Avoid places that are too noisy or overly familiar, like your usual pub or a crowded fast food joint. The venue should feel intentional, as if you selected it with her in mind. This brings us to pre-date research, the subtle art of tailoring the experience. You're not gathering intel like a spy, but rather picking up clues from your conversations to guide your choices. Has she mentioned her favorite type of food? Does she enjoy live music or art galleries? These details aren't just helpful, they show her that you listen and pay attention. A woman feels valued when she notices that her preferences influence your planning. However, be careful not to go overboard. You're creating a thoughtful experience, not a grand production. A well-chosen venue or activity, combined with your genuine effort, is often more impactful than elaborate gestures. Preparation isn't just about logistics, it's about the mindset you bring to the date. Take a moment to center yourself beforehand. Arrive on time, or better yet, a little early, to avoid unnecessary stress. Being calm, organized, and ready to engage sets the tone for a smooth, enjoyable evening. When you prepare thoughtfully, you create an environment where connection can thrive. And when a woman sees that you've put in the effort, it sets the stage for her to relax and enjoy the experience. A great date isn't just about what happens during. It's about everything you do to make it memorable before it even begins. Chapter 3. The Art of Conversation. If there's one skill that can make or break a date, it's the ability to hold a great conversation. While many focus on what to say to impress, the real magic lies in creating a two-way flow where both of you feel heard, valued, and engaged. A date isn't a monologue or an interview, it's a dance, with each of you taking turns to lead, follow, and build on what the other is sharing. Mastering the art of conversation is your ticket to making her feel a connection that goes beyond surface-level pleasantries. One of the most underrated yet powerful aspects of a great conversation is the ability to listen. Really listen. Most people think they're good listeners, but in reality, they're just waiting for their turn to talk. When you truly pay attention to what she's saying, you're showing her that her thoughts, feelings, and opinions matter to you. Maintain eye contact, nod occasionally to show you're following along, and offer verbal cues like, "That's interesting," or "Tell me more about that." These small actions let her know you're engaged without interrupting her flow. At the same time, balance is key. While listening is vital, a conversation works best when it feels reciprocal. Avoid the extremes of dominating the conversation or staying too passive. If she shares something about her favorite hobby, for example, respond with curiosity rather than just acknowledgement. A simple, "What got you into that?" or "What do you love most about it?" opens the door for her to share more. These are open-ended questions, the secret weapon of great conversationalists. They encourage her to share her passions and give you insight into what truly makes her tick. Storytelling is another tool to elevate your conversations. People connect through stories, not facts. But here's the trick: your stories should feel natural and relatable, not rehearsed or self-indulgent. If she mentions traveling, don't just say, "I love traveling too." Instead, share a short, engaging anecdote like, "I remember getting lost in Rome once and stumbling upon the best little cafe I've ever been to." Keep your stories concise and end them with something that invites her input, like, "Have you ever had an unexpected adventure like that?" And while storytelling can make you memorable, be mindful of how much airtime you're taking. Your goal isn't to turn the date into a one-man show but to share enough to encourage a mutual exchange. When in doubt, focus on asking her about her experiences, thoughts, and feelings. Most people enjoy talking about themselves, and when they feel heard, they're more likely to associate those positive feelings with you. Now, let's talk about what to avoid. Certain topics can derail even the most promising conversations. Steer clear of taboo subjects like politics or religion unless you're certain she's comfortable discussing them. Similarly, avoid delving into overly personal or serious topics too soon. This isn't the time to unpack your childhood traumas or vent about your ex. Keep the conversation light and fun in the early stages, focusing on shared interests and positive experiences. It's also important to be aware of your tone and choice of words. Sarcasm, negativity, or overly critical comments can unintentionally create tension. Instead, focus on humor, curiosity, and positivity. For example, if she shares something that's not your cup of tea, respond with interest rather than judgment. "That's fascinating. I've never thought about it that way," keeps the energy open and inviting. Ultimately, the art of conversation boils down to creating a space where she feels safe to be herself. When you listen deeply, ask thoughtful questions, share relatable stories, and steer clear of unnecessary pitfalls, you create an atmosphere of trust and connection. A great conversation doesn't need to be perfect, it needs to feel real. And when she walks away thinking, "I've never talked to someone like that before," you'll know you've truly mastered the art of conversation. Chapter 4. Building Attraction Through Body Language. They say actions speak louder than words, and nowhere is that more true than in the subtle language of the body. While your words may initiate the connection, your body language is what reinforces it, builds attraction, and communicates confidence without saying a single word. Mastering nonverbal cues isn't about being robotic or rehearsed. It's about becoming aware of how your body communicates and learning to interpret hers in return. Open posture is your foundation. Think about how you carry yourself when you're comfortable and confident, shoulders back, chest open, and arms relaxed. This isn't about puffing yourself up or trying to look imposing. It's about creating an inviting presence that makes her feel at ease. Crossing your arms or hunching over can come across as closed off or uninterested, even if you're engaged in the conversation. A relaxed, open stance sends the message that you're confident, approachable, and present. Eye contact is another powerful tool. When used naturally, it creates intimacy and connection. Don't overdo it by staring. It's not a staring contest. But meet her gaze consistently throughout the conversation. When you're listening, maintain eye contact to show you're engaged. When you're speaking, occasionally hold her gaze a second longer than usual. It creates a subtle spark of attraction. Pair that with a warm, genuine smile, and you've instantly set a tone of comfort and positivity. Once you've mastered your own body language, you can begin to use another powerful technique: mirroring. Mirroring is the subtle art of reflecting her body language to build subconscious rapport. If she leans forward slightly, you can do the same. If she picks up her drink, wait a moment and casually pick up yours. This isn't mimicry, it's about creating a rhythm that feels in sync. People naturally feel more connected to those who appear aligned with them, and mirroring helps foster that sense of connection. But body language isn't just about what you're projecting, it's also about how you're receiving her signals. Women communicate a lot through their own nonverbal cues, and learning to read them can help you adjust your approach in real time. Is she leaning in when she talks to you? That's a good sign she's engaged. Does she play with her hair or touch her necklace? These can be signs of nervous excitement or interest. On the other hand, if she's crossing her arms or angling her body away, it could mean she's feeling unsure or reserved. Decoding her signals isn't about analyzing her like a puzzle, it's about staying present and aware of how she's reacting to the moment. If her body language is open and inviting, lean into the connection, maybe by moving a bit closer or matching her energy. If she seems reserved or distant, take a step back and give her space to feel comfortable. Attraction isn't about forcing a connection, it's about cultivating one that feels natural and mutual. Ultimately, your body language tells a story. It communicates your confidence, your intentions, and your ability to create a safe, engaging space for her to express herself. When you use open posture, genuine eye contact, and the subtle power of mirroring, you're not just showing her who you are, you're inviting her to lean in and discover more. Attraction isn't just built through words, it's felt in the unspoken, shared moments where the connection grows deeper without either of you realizing it. That's the power of body language. Chapter 5. Creating Unforgettable Moments. What separates a date she forgets by morning from one she tells her friends about for weeks? It's the small, meaningful moments that stand out, the ones that make her feel special, understood, and genuinely happy to be with you. Creating unforgettable moments isn't about grand gestures or orchestrated theatrics. It's about the little things you do to show her that you're fully present, thoughtful, and capable of turning even the ordinary into something extraordinary. It starts with the smallest gestures. Opening doors, offering your hand when stepping over a curb, or walking on the side of the street closest to traffic might seem old-fashioned, but these acts of chivalry still resonate deeply. They're not about dominance or showing off, they're about showing care. Women notice when you go out of your way to make them feel comfortable and respected. Another small but powerful gesture is paying attention to the details she shares. If she casually mentions her favorite dessert, surprising her with it later shows that you're not just hearing her, you're listening. These little acts of thoughtfulness demonstrate that you're invested in making the experience enjoyable for her. Humor is another ingredient that transforms a date from good to unforgettable. There's something magical about shared laughter. It breaks down barriers, builds comfort, and leaves a lasting impression. You don't need to be a stand-up comedian to make her laugh. Instead, focus on being playful and present in the moment. Tease her gently about something lighthearted, laugh at yourself when appropriate, and embrace the quirks of the evening. If a waiter spills water or you take a wrong turn while driving, use it as an opportunity to create an inside joke. Humor isn't about having the perfect punchline, it's about making the experience feel fun and effortless. Unexpected situations are inevitable, and how you handle them can define the tone of the date. Maybe the restaurant loses your reservation, or it suddenly starts pouring rain during an outdoor activity. These moments could easily ruin the evening if approached with frustration or negativity, but they can also become the highlight if you handle them with grace and creativity. Suggest an impromptu change of plans, find a cozy cafe nearby or laugh as you both dash through the rain to find cover. These little detours are opportunities to show adaptability and turn potential mishaps into moments that feel spontaneous and alive. Being present is the thread that ties all these elements together. When you're fully engaged with her, listening to her stories, noticing her reactions, and responding with curiosity and warmth, you create a bubble where it feels like the rest of the world fades away. This presence is what makes her feel valued and appreciated, leaving her thinking, "I've never felt this comfortable with someone before." Unforgettable moments aren't about perfection. They're about authenticity, effort, and creating a space where she can relax and enjoy the moment with you. Whether it's a shared laugh over a silly mistake, a thoughtful gesture that shows you're paying attention, or the way you turn an unexpected twist into an adventure, it's these moments that linger in her memory. When you focus on the little things, you create something far greater, an experience that's uniquely yours together. And that's how you become a date she'll never forget. Chapter 6. Ending the date on a high note. The final moments of a date are just as important as the first impression. They set the tone for how she feels when she walks away and how eager she'll be to see you again. Ending the date on a high note isn't about making a dramatic statement or trying to seal the deal. It's about leaving her with a sense of warmth, connection, and anticipation. The goodbye is your opportunity to make a lasting impression. As the date winds down, pay attention to her energy and cues. Is she lingering, suggesting she's not quite ready for the night to end? Or is she subtly signaling that it's time to wrap up? Either way, the goal is to end the evening with confidence and kindness. Stand tall, maintain eye contact, and smile warmly as you say goodbye. If the moment feels right, offer a hug or a light touch on the arm, a small gesture that conveys sincerity and connection without being overly forward. If the date has gone exceptionally well, you might say something like, "I had a great time tonight. I'd really like to see you again." Keep it simple and genuine. There's no need to overthink it. Expressing genuine appreciation is a powerful way to leave her feeling valued. A thoughtful compliment about her personality, humor, or something she shared during the date will stand out far more than generic flattery about her appearance. For example, "I really enjoyed how passionate you are about," insert her interest. It's inspiring to hear you talk about it. Pair that with gratitude for her time. "Thanks for making tonight so enjoyable. I had a great time getting to know you." This combination of a heartfelt compliment and sincere appreciation reinforces the positive feelings she'll associate with the date. Now, let's talk about what happens after the date. Following up is a crucial step in maintaining the momentum you've built. While there's no universal rule about when to reach out, a good guideline is to text her the next day to let her know you enjoyed the evening. A simple message like, "I had a great time with you last night. Thanks for the laughs and the great conversation," keeps the tone light and genuine. Avoid playing games or waiting days to contact her. Modern dating thrives on clear communication, not unnecessary mystery. If she responds positively, take the initiative to suggest meeting again. Reference something you talked about during the date to make it personal. "Since you mentioned loving sushi, I know a great place we could try next week. What do you think?" This shows you were paying attention and are excited to spend more time with her. If she seems hesitant or noncommittal, don't take it personally. Sometimes timing or compatibility just isn't right, and that's okay. Ultimately, ending the date on a high note is about leaving her with a sense of ease, excitement, and curiosity. When you say goodbye with warmth, express genuine appreciation, and follow up with sincerity, you're not just closing out a good evening, you're laying the foundation for something more. And whether it's your first date or your 10th, making her feel seen, valued, and respected will always leave a lasting impression. Congratulations, you've just unlocked the secrets to being her best date ever. Let's take a moment to recap everything we've covered. You've learned that the foundation of a great date isn't about grand gestures or trying to impress. It's about showing up with confidence, authenticity, and the mindset of connection. You now understand how preparation sets the stage for success, how thoughtful conversation creates deeper bonds, and how small gestures and body language can speak louder than words. Most importantly, you've seen how creating unforgettable moments and ending the date on a high note can leave her excited to see you again. Dating isn't a rigid set of rules or a game to be won. It's an experience, a chance to learn, grow, and connect. When you approach it with curiosity and an open heart, every date becomes an opportunity to explore who you are and who you want to be. Don't focus on perfection, focus on being present. Women value genuine effort far more than a flawless performance. The steps and strategies you've learned in this audiobook are designed to help you bring out your best self, the version of you that's already capable of creating incredible connections. As you move forward, remember that dating is as much about your journey as it is about hers. The effort you put into becoming the best date she's ever had will also make you more confident, self-aware, and fulfilled in your own life. Great dates aren't about luck, they're about intention, preparation, and presence. By embracing what you've learned here, you're not just improving your dating life. You're elevating your relationships and becoming someone who leaves a lasting impression wherever you go. So here's your challenge. Take what you've learned and put it into action. Whether you're planning your next date or preparing for your first, approach it with confidence and excitement. Use the tools you've gained to create a memorable experience for both of you. Listen deeply, laugh freely, and don't be afraid to show her who you truly are. When you prioritize connection over performance, you'll not only stand out, you'll create moments that she'll carry with her long after the date is over. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Now it's your turn to step out there and become the date women dream of. Go make it happen, and remember, the best dates are the ones where both of you walk away feeling seen, appreciated, and eager for more. Here's to you and your next unforgettable connection. Good luck, and go be extraordinary.